And the Zone. Welcome to the Morning Blitz with John Abraham, Captain Cool, and the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Captain Cool.
Hello and welcome on in to a thirsty Thursday here in No Man's Land. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman Bailey Lowery. Hey, and we got a lot of fun stuff to hop into today, previewing all the football that's going to be starting tonight with the Chiefs going up against the Lions, which will be on this said station. Make sure you guys have our app, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, on Apple and Android devices, as well as online. You can find us at 977ESPN.com and on Twitter at 977ESPN. And also, if you want to watch the show, get the full experience of the Blitz boys as well as the rest of all of the WZZN world, you guys can find us at WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube. And you can also join in on the conversation. 256-576-4977 is the number to call, and you guys can get on in this. And also, if you want, you can participate in our Flow Friday activities a day early. That's right, Flow Supreme Air. If you guys want to hop over there and give them a jump or two, you can. But you can hop in on our little giveaway that we're doing. Today, again, stick with the hot takes, okay? Hot takes in the NFL. Let's stick with the hot takes in the NFL. If you call in today or tomorrow and give us your hot take, we'll put you in the drawing to win a party of 10 at Flow Supreme Air, which is a $300 deal. So that's a pretty spicy one right there. So make sure you guys do call in, or even just comment on our chat box on the streams, or possibly just add us on Twitter and give us your hot take for the NFL season. This show is presented by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online and fill out your free quote today. You can find them at FlemingHSV.com. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Bandiman, I will say yesterday I did get out to a Trash Pandas game. It was my final Trash Pandas game. It was during the day. It might not be my final for good, but it is my final for this season because this is their last home stand. But, which, by the way, guys, get on out to one of their games to finish off the season, because if you haven't gone out to a game yet, this is the game you're going to want to get out to. I'll probably be going to one on Saturday, but we do have a caller on the Neighbors Wealth Management hotline. Bandy, who do we got?
We got Jeremy. What's going on, Jeremy?
Oh, man, it's going. Just enjoying this beautiful overcast day.
Oh, yeah. I love that weather.
Hey, ready for the start of fantasy football week 1?
Oh, my gosh, man. This is the time of year that you just wait for. I mean,
yes.
It's like, I wish football season, like they complain about having to play that extra game during the season, but, like, I really wish that football lasted just a little bit longer.
Yeah,
that we could at least go to March before we got into the XFL and USFL.
Heck, I'd be fine with a 52-week season, honestly.
I don't know about the offensive line though.
I got a hot take for you.
All right.
And it's I don't know. I think it's a good one.
All right.
The Jets will bow out in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay.
And the Tennessee Titans will not be the best team in their division, in their conference, their division.
All right.
I don't think the Titans will. I think this is going to be a down year for the Titans, and I think injuries are going to hit the Jets, and I think that there's some guys that are not going to live up to expectations for the Jets.
So kind of in that. So if you don't think the Titans are going to be at the top of the AFC South at the end of the year, who do you have at the top over the Titans?
Yeah, get the Jaguars, the Colts, as well as who's that other team?
The Texans.
Yeah, I forget about them sometimes.
But some team that pretends to be a legacy football team when they're not. I think it's going to be the Jaguars.
Okay.
I think they've got a guy down there that owns that team that has put some money into them.
Oh yeah.
And I think that they've kind of got a little bit of a good thing going this year because I think Trevor Lawrence, man, I think this is going to be his year. He had a good year. He's had a good season. He hasn't really been a total bust yet.
No,
not at all.
In the NFL standards, because NFL standards are you come out, you start as a rookie, and if you don't win 3 games in a row, then that was the worst mistake that team ever made was by drafting, and you're not thought of again.
Yeah, that was a good take.
And so I think Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a great quarterback. He reminds me, and oh god, y'all don't get me for this, but he kind of reminds me of a hybrid between Elway and Marino.
Okay, all right.
And when I watch him play, you catch glimpses every once in a while of Marino just because of his stature, the way he's how big he is. But man, he has got that arm like Marino and Elway.
Great stuff.
To me, I think he's a great quarterback, and I'm an Alabama fan. So I'm saying that about a guy that beat it.
Hey, no, I'm with it. No, like once they get to the NFL, like all gloves are off. You can root for the guy now. They're not playing for the orange and blue anymore.
Look,
we're not playing for the orange and blue or the orange and white. None of that.
I'm glad you said that because I love Peyton Manning now.
That is definitely one that a lot of people learned to kind of forget the college about. But thank you very much, Jeremy. We'll put you into the drawing to win that party at 10 over at Flow.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Good stuff. Happy football season. Good stuff. I can agree with him, okay, on some things, all right? I'm not going to say that the Titans won't win their division because, honestly, it's going to be a close little battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars as well as the Tennessee Titans because you look over at this team. The Jaguars, they do have a lot of talent. They're a very speedy team. This is a team that kind of reminds me of like a Pac-12 or an Ohio State type of team where they got a lot of speedy boys. Size isn't completely there. For the Tennessee Titans, it's kind of the other way. They're a little less speedy. They do get in more wide receivers to help out. Obviously, the running backs help out a lot as well. The quarterback is the biggest question. I think Trevor Lawrence is definitely better than Ryan Tannehill. Trevor Lawrence has gotten so much better in the span of a year. I mean, he goes from 17 interceptions in 1 year, throwing 12 touchdowns, to 8 interceptions the next and 25 touchdowns, including the 4,000 yards that he threw in 2022. So there's definitely a lot to like about that team. The New York Jets, getting to the playoffs first off, that's going to be a challenge. But, going past the first round is going to be that big thing. So I think Jeremy put down a pretty good hot take because they can make it to the playoffs. But that first game, whether they're playing against
can they make it far?
The Bills, the Dolphins, whoever they're playing in that game, that is really going to dictate how far they can go. And we really have to just wait and see what they can do moving forward in week 1. So that's going to be something to definitely watch out for. But good take by him. You guys can also jump in 256-5764.
97.7
is the number to call in. But make sure you don't call us in the second segment, okay? The second segment, we will have some Sparkman football player on. One Mr. Jaden Drip Thomas, running back for the Sparkman Senators. Finally get to talk to him and see how he's feeling going into Game 3 against the Austin Black Bears. And then on top of that, it's a Thirsty Thursday, meaning we're going out to the course and talking with one Mr. Jonathan Liggett from Cherokee Ridge Country Club.
I didn't even see that was a Cherokee Ridge hat. I just saw the ridge. Like, oh, that's cool.
I convinced him to give me the hat, Bandy. And now it's my Thursday hat because I gotta show off. I gotta give him a little bit of love. But Bandy, let's go back into the NFL, okay?
Yeah. I kind of want to actually follow up a little bit on the AFC South.
Okay.
Because I think there is a big question mark with the Colts.
Okay.
We don't know how Anthony Richardson's going to perform, but from what we've been hearing going off the field, he has been fully committed to the team. Extra hours in the quarterback room, in the film room, like coordinating with teammates, putting in the work with coaches. Like he is, from what we have heard, he has the correct mindset and the right mindset for an NFL caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
Going into it, week 1. Rookie quarterback did not perform that well at Florida, at least in the passing game. just a giant question mark in general. I just don't know how to describe this guy.
Yeah, it's going to be something interesting to see.
And this entire Colts team.
Because, the Colts team, I'll go over their roster here in a second.
The Colorado of the NFL.
But then you got to look over at this Jacksonville Jaguars team that's coming to Indianapolis to play them in Week 1. It's going to be a really tough challenge. Thankfully, Anthony Richardson gets to play his first real game in Indianapolis, so that'll help out with his vibes, the way that he controls his mental. But, I mean, you look over at this Colts team, and you look at, there's Anthony Richardson, and I can't say that this is the Colorado of the NFL, okay? That is far from the case, okay?
I was talking about in terms of just a giant question mark.
Yeah, I can understand that. But you look over at their offense, and you see that they've got, a few wide receivers. One of them is named Michael Pittman Jr. He's probably the guy that's going to get a majority of these passes. The rest of this team, you got Alec Pierce. Okay, Isaiah McKenzie, he's going to be decent, but none of these guys are going to be those, stars that you really want on your team, or a veteran like Amari Cooper, or on top of that, maybe an Odell Beckham, just to kind
Calvin Ridley.
Bring a little bit of swag towards your team. Calvin Ridley as well, he's going to be a guy that's finally going to get to show off a little bit of his abilities for those Jaguars, but it's definitely going to be an interesting thing to see. I don't think the Colts are going to be good this season, okay? I think if they don't finish last, they're going to finish second to last, because the Texans are the second biggest question mark with C.J. Stroud at the helm. So it's going to be a little bit of back and forth. I don't think it's going to be a very competitive AFC South of this season. I do think it's either going to be the Titans or the Jaguars, and my gut is just leaning towards the Jaguars just a little bit more. But we will talk with Joe Hunk from 104.5 The Zone tomorrow to figure out why the Titans have the upper hand in the AFC South going into 2023. That offense is sneaky good, I will say. They're getting the wide receivers. They've got the running backs. Their quarterback is the question. Is he going to stay on his Ryan Tannehill ways, be just kind of an average quarterback, not have a lot of weapons to throw to? Or is he going to embrace the weapons that he's been given and try and make some stars out of the younger wide receivers that he's got, on top of the DeAndre Hopkins that they acquired during the offseason? Real quick before we hop in, we don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time, baby. We got to hop at the break. When we come back, we're talking to Jaden Drip Thomas from the Sparkman Senators football team, so don't go anywhere, because you're listening to the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Danny, pass the potatoes, please.
Sure, Dad.
And the salt.
Here you go.
And the bucket.
I need the bucket.
The water is dripping in my food.
Honey, can we get the roof fixed now?
Don't wait until the damage is done to call a roofer. Call the experts at Yellowhammer Roofing and let them inspect your roof. Locally owned and operated, licensed and insured. Call 256-232-1933. That's 256-232-1933. YellowhammerRoofing.com.
Welcome back. Stan McDonald from the Stanton Law Firm. I had lunch with Lewis just recently, and with a client of ours, a mutual client, and great to hear all the good things going on at the Stanton Law Firm.
Thank you, Wes. The Stanton Law Firm, as you know, we've discussed before, we're dirt lawyers. We do a lot of real estate, litigation and closing. And yes, my son Lewis McDonald enjoyed meeting you a couple of weeks ago, and a couple of your friends. He is, as you know, he's opened up a commercial closing division. So he's really helping a lot of people who are trying to close, buy, or sell on their commercial property. And he can't be in this community doing business without knowing Wes neighbors.
I don't know about that, but it sure was getting to meet another McDonald and talking a little bit about his grandfather, Coach Dye, and right, the different things. It was a lot of fun.
Well, your listeners are really going to enjoy meeting Lewis and you in this community. And like I said, at Jacob Title or the Stanton Law Firm, we close business. We close some good commercial closings, residential closings. We appreciate being part of your show.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Philip Love of not only Eagle Insulation, now he represents Eagle Companies. Eagle through the years have added several companies to help individuals or builders through their construction renovation process. Eagle's known to represent quality, efficiency, and professionalism. Philip, I know you do insulation, but do you do masonry?
We do.
Do you do grading, erosion control, and dirt hauled off?
We do.
Do you do afterpaint, which includes shower doors, mirrors, shelving blinds, and bath hardware?
Yes, we do, Wes.
Do you do landscaping and irrigation?
Yes, we do.
So basically, Eagle can help you all along your process of building your house or doing renovations. So do you do plumbing?
We do not, Wes, but we can find somebody to do it.
Just give them time. They'll be there. Anyway, call Eagle Insulation at
256-755-1556.
Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Call Eagle today.
Thanks, Wes.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-upper 80s. Some of us could see the lower 90s. A couple of different models were trying to bring in an isolated shower through Thursday afternoon. I'm fairly confident we're going to end up staying dry. We drop into the low and mid-60s as we head into the overnight early into your Friday morning. A mostly to partly sunny sky Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. It's going to be a beautiful evening for Friday night football. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, this is Eli Gold, inviting you to start your day with Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Plus, listen daily for the Crimson Tide Today. Your home of Alabama Crimson Tide sports is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello, welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Blitz. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery.
How's it going, Captain Cool?
It's going great. It's going great. Done with trash painters. I got a sunburn yesterday, and maybe I get to go to a game this weekend. And also, we got a lot of football as well. I can't deny that.
I mean, football on every single level this weekend.
Oh, yeah. And on Friday, I mean, you guys got to realize this. We have 5 games for you this Friday, okay, on our airwaves. All right, you're going to get some amazing matchups. And one of those amazing matchups, probably the best matchup of all of them, in my opinion, is going to be the Sparkman versus the Austin Black Bears. And obviously, last year it wasn't like what Sparkman wanted. It was a very close matchup. It got all the way down to the end. And honestly, it was maybe just an amazing matchup that everybody can kind of be happy with because both teams fought extremely hard. But I know the Senators wanted the dub, and I know they're going to be going for it this Friday, tomorrow, on Zone 4. And we have a special guest on with us to talk about that matchup. It is one Mr. Jaden Drip Thomas from Sparkman Senators Football. Jaden, how are you doing today?
I'm all right, sir.
It's good to hear. It's
How you
good
doing,
to hear. I cannot complain, okay? I mean, first off, I mean, it's football season in the first place. This is better than Christmas, in my opinion. And on top of that, I get to watch you guys play week in and week out, and so far I've seen nothing but great stuff from your team. Kind of just talk about the first 2 games, your performance, and then we'll kind of talk about Huffman performance because that was totally different from the Hazel Green performance in your opinion. But kind of just talk about those first 2 games to start off the season.
Yes, sir. Those first 2 games, I mean, we came out strong. Yeah, we wanted those 2 wins. We knew we wanted to come out hard and just, like, play the best we could. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that hit spring game, we came out. Our defense played phenomenal. Offense, we were connecting on a lot of points. And, at halftime, unfortunately, the game got canceled due to some off-the-field problems, unfortunately. But, our school, we're taking some extra safety steps for the next game and home games after. But that Huffman game, though, we went drove down to Birmingham, and our line for that game was to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that the best we could, and I think that scoreboard definitely spoke that game, yeah.
For sure. And I mean, in the first, I believe it was the first 3 minutes, you guys were already up 21-0. Obviously scoring on all sides of the ball. We made a huge deal about that. You guys got the trifecta, so it was absolutely amazing to see. But kind of talk about that second game, because in the first game against Hazel Green, didn't get to see too many carries from you. In that second game, we got a handful of carries, but we definitely got to see a lot more productivity. Kind of just talk about what you saw that really gave you the yardage in that game, because you were over like 100-something yards.
Yes, sir. So that game, really on the offensive side, we only had about 20 snaps of offense, and because our defense and our special teams were just putting points on the board on their side.
Yeah.
But I had about maybe 4 or 5 carries for, I think, maybe 100 yards.
Nice.
And really, it was just our O-line just doing their job. Like, seriously, they moved guys left and right, and they got me into the end zone when I needed it.
Yeah, and kind of talk about that relationship with Draper, Campbell, Lamar, Perry, and Rainey. Kind of just talk about the running back and line relationship that you kind of have to have a successful run game, let alone offense.
Yes, sir. That is very important. Coming off of last season, we lost 4 starters, and we had, only our center, Jaden Lamar. He was our only returning guy up front, and I knew that it would definitely be different from last year for sure. So over the summer, I really tried to spend time with those guys and really just get to know them off the field. So by the time the season came around, we were talking and were able to communicate very well, and that has definitely translated onto the field for us.
Exactly, and then moving forward, we do have Jaden Drip Thomas on with us, running back for the Sparkwood Setters. And then moving forward now to the biggest challenge of this year, the Austin Black Bears. Obviously, last year it didn't go the way you guys wanted, but this year, kind of coming in this game with a little bit of a different vibe. But you're also going to play them at home, so we get to see that at Sparkwood Setters Stadium. Kind of just talk about what the coach has been pushing into your mind, telling you guys, and what you really need to watch for with this Austin team.
Yes, sir. So this game, our biggest thing has been remember the pain. Yeah, that feeling last year from when we lost to them, it definitely hurt. And we are definitely going to keep that in mind. Yeah, this game, we know they have some very talented guys on offensive and defensive side of the ball. On defense, though, they got some hard hitters over there. But really, we believe it's going to be a game that comes down to our guys up front and their guys up front. It'll be a game won in those trenches, and I have high hopes that our guys will come out on top for us, really.
I love to hear it. You guys got to rise to the occasion, and I expect that to tomorrow from the Senators team. Just a plethora of talent, seniors, juniors, sophomores, all mixed in. One of the more experienced teams, though, that I have seen with a high school team throughout North Alabama, at least through the few teams that I have gotten to see. Kind of just talk about how much the experience actually matters for a high school football team.
It really does matter. I feel like over the years you pick up on some things to expect and some of the different schemes and plans that we will need for different teams. I know it is over time it becomes less of what our coaches are telling us to do and what we should do and what they expect us to do going into certain weeks.
Exactly. It helps out a lot. And I know whenever I was a senior, I felt so much bigger than everybody else at the time, so I felt like I could just throw people around, throw them out of bounds. I was a wide receiver myself, so we were on a wing tee offense. I had to pretty much be a lineman the entire time, so that was very fun. But I want to ask you a question, okay? You got the name Drip. I've been calling you Drip on the broadcast, that it's been very fun, and I want to know, where did that name kind of come from?
Man, see, this is a very special story for me, and I guess all right. So
you can take your time on it.
I stepped down. Yeah, Coach White, he retired last year. I remember it was my first practice on varsity, and it was towards the end of my freshman year.
Okay.
And I went out there, and they had a dress code of like black shorts and shoulder pads and everything. And I came out in some black and white, like polka dot shorts. And I walked out there, and Coach Mike was sitting on his golf cart, and he immediately asked me, he was like, "Man, why do you you have those sissy like polka dot shorts on, man?" And my friend next to me, he told him, "Coach, that's just the style. That's the
drip."
As they call it. And so then, ever since that day, he just started calling me Drip, and then all my teammates and all the other coaches started calling me Drip as well. So it's just stuck since then.
That's awesome.
I love it.
It's a really good nickname to have. I mean, whenever I see you, going through the hole and just breaking people's legs and all that stuff, obviously that is a crazy expression. But I always say, I mean, he's got the drip not only on him, but also on the way that he runs, because it is it is so nice to see.
Yes, sir.
But looking forward, past, I mean, I don't want to ask you past this football season, but kind of just talk about the relationship you've kind of gained. Who are some of your closer friends that are on this team that you've kind of bonded with throughout the years that can really just be held accountable for anything and just, be the guys that you look to whenever you're looking for that help on that football side?
So over the years, I've been playing varsity for the past 2-3 years now, and I've lost some close friends, but really through it all, I've gotten close with my center, Jaden Lamar, and I mean, he is a dog up front.
It's always Jaden.
Yeah.
It's always Lamar.
Right. He is if we need a first down or if we're on that in the red zone, I can always count on him to make a nice block or just make me a hole where I need it the most. Seriously, he does his job, and he is the reason I have a lot of my nice plays. He is my closest son on the team by far.
Exactly. It's always nice, especially when you got a center that will make you and the rest of the team just look that much better. It is an important position, okay? I used to play it back in my first year of football. I was supposed to be a tight end if that didn't happen. At that point, any size could be at any position, but good stuff, Jaden. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
Appreciate you.
What are you going to be doing, real quick, what are you going to be doing to kind of prep for that? What's your mindset going into those games?
Like I said earlier, just remember that pain and just really get myself more mentally ready than physically. I'm just
understandable.
Just on all that pain from last year, really. I'm just trying to soak all that pain in and just make the most out of Friday for myself, really.
Exactly. Great stuff, Jaden. Can't wait to see you to play tomorrow. Can't wait to see what the team's got to offer. We appreciate you hopping on. And who do you think we should get on next week?
Next week, okay, I think it would be good to talk to a linebacker, Wabez Ponder.
Okay. Yes, I've been wanting to talk to Ponder. I've been wanting to talk to him. You have a good day. We're not going to hold you up anymore, buddy.
I appreciate you guys so much.
Good stuff. Jaden Drip Thomas. See you, Jaden. You got to get out of here. See you.
All right.
He doesn't want to, I wouldn't want to get back to class either,
man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't either.
Josh Ward, he was trying to stick with us the entire show.
I would be faking it on the way back to class, so I still have my phone up to my ear. Just I'm still on the show. Don't worry about it, guys. He's going to hang up on me in a little bit, and I'm out the door.
I'd peek back into the class and be like, sorry, Teach, I'm on for the rest of this show. You're going to have to just go on with algebra without me.
I'm not going to be available until first lunch.
Oh, gosh. I am so excited to watch some high school football tomorrow. And I'm so excited to watch some football tonight. Again, Chiefs and the Lions are on. It is the first prime time. It is the first matchup of the NFL season. So you guys look forward to that. But we got to hop into a break. When we come back, possibly a little bit of fantasy football talk. Possibly a little bit of talk about some of the contracts that have been signed in the NFL. That's what's coming up here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders, and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
The End Zone Sports Bar has done it again. This time, they're bringing their jumbo wings, handcrafted burgers, Tex-Mex, and New York-style pizza to the Mid-City District with their new location on McMurtry Drive Northwest opposite the Target Plaza. Tuesdays at the End Zone means half-price burgers, and Wednesday is $1 jumbo wings all day long. The End Zone also features Sunday ticket for all your NFL viewing. The newest End Zone Sports Bar in the Mid-City District on McMurtry near the Target Plaza. Get in the End Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-upper 80s. Some of us could see the lower 90s. A couple of different models. We're trying to bring in an isolated shower through Thursday afternoon. I'm fairly confident we're going to end up staying dry. We drop into the low and mid-60s as we head into the overnight, early into your Friday morning. A mostly to partly sunny sky Friday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. It's going to be a beautiful evening for Friday night football. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm ready. You know, it's going to be a good week, a good weekend, whenever your girlfriend says, yes, more charcuterie boards to football coming up.
More charcuterie boards.
I had to tell her. Last week, we spent the majority of the weekend actually watching football, and honestly, that's a dream to me. And we're going to be running it back this weekend, watching some Chiefs and Lions, and on top of that, obviously, the plethora of college football to come up. It's going to be great. It's going to be a wonderful weekend, and you guys can get it started tonight or tomorrow with the 5 slated games on our high school sports and network. We're going to have Sparkman going up against the one and only Austin Black Bears. You know, it's going to be what it is. Buckhorn is going to be going up against Gadsden City. Madison Academy is going to be going up against J.B. Pennington, the law firm, I guess. Huntsville is going to be going up against Grissom for our game of the week. And then Randolph is going to be at JP2, and Bandiman is going to be on the call with Drew DeArmond.
Yes,
so
sir.
Looking forward to that one. It's going to be a good matchup. Really, all of these games are going to be a good matchup, and we're in the full swing of things, guys, and I'm loving it. You can call in 256-5764.
97.7
is the number to get into the show, possibly place your hot take for our Flow Friday giveaway. We're starting off a little bit early. You guys can throw in your NFL hot take, and we'll put you in the drawing to win a party of 10 at Flow Supreme Air. That is a $300 value right there, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. But Bandy, we got some things to talk about. I want to talk a little bit about fantasy football. You want to talk Madden. We're going to try and get it all in, but this is only an hour-long show, Bandy.
Because the greed has gotten worse.
The greed has gotten worse for EA. But before we get into any of that stuff, let's talk about some fantasy football stuff, which also it includes defensive players getting signed to mega contracts. Ooh. And when I say mega contracts, I mean the best contract or the most money a defensive player has ever gotten, and that is one Mr. Nick Bosa for the 49ers, because the 2019 first rounder, he got paid some big money. And I mean, it's only he's proven himself, okay? He's a 3-time Pro Bowler in 4 years. He came out of Ohio State. He was a second-round pick back in 2019. And he's been doing just some solid stuff. He's really been helping out this team. He's been the leader of this defense. And you guys were kind of, 49ers were kind of hesitant on paying him what he deserves. And although I don't know if he deserves this much money, it's whatever the 49ers think he does deserve. So they're giving him a huge $170 million contract with $122.5 guaranteed, beating out the likes of Rams' Aaron Donald, who averaged $31.66 million with an AAV, an average annual value of the $34 million. That's what Bosa's going to be getting. $34 million a year. And he has the possibility of getting $170 million throughout a 5-year contract. Very big, very good, very strong. Kind of looking at the stats between the top defensive ends in this league right now. You look at Nick Bosa's stats coming off of last year. You gotta admit he did pretty freaking good. 51 combined tackles, 10 assists, 18.5 sacks. Okay, we look over at Aaron Donald. Because we brought it up earlier, we got to talk about Aaron Donald a little bit. He is getting a little bit up there in age, but his stats have been pretty solid. Last season, less tackles than really any of these other guys I'm going to talk about. He had like 48. He's getting older. He's 32 years old, and you see a little bit of regression in his playing. Okay. But then we go over back to some of the younger guys. Yeah, he had 49 combined tackles, 22 assists, 5 sacks. We go over to some of these younger guys, Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt. Myles Garrett's last season, guys, 60 tackles altogether, 23 assists, 16 sacks, okay? Big-time player right here, and he's getting paid less than both of those other two guys. And then on top of that, we got T.J. Watt, who, yes, was injured last season, but the year before that, 64 tackles, 16 assists, and 22.5 sacks. The guy was an absolute beast, and just last year, he wasn't playing all throughout the season, but he still had 39 tackles, 12 assists, 2 interceptions, and 5.5 sacks. So all of these young talents, and I feel like this is the position to really watch now. It used to be linebacker, now it's the defensive end position. These guys are those star players that you need to have on your team if you want to win football games.
The Aaron Donalds.
And if you want your defense in fantasy football to be good, okay? You need to have Nick Bosa on your team if you want to have success with the 49ers. Bandy, you have the 49ers defense?
I do have the 49ers defense.
Of course, he's got like all of the defenses in the NFL. The man decided to go defense heavy. But Bandy, I think we should also go to one implication that might affect your team a little bit because you do have Cooper Kupp as well. Is that correct? Okay.
I do.
He does. Okay.
Yeah.
His injury has kind of been a little shaky, all right? Obviously, he had a hamstring injury, and now he had to look over. He had to go all the way to a specialist in Minnesota, get checked on some tissue and all that stuff. And now there's a possibility that he might get placed on the injured reserve, okay? Which means he will miss at least 4 games to start off the season. And if I'm a guy that has a Cooper Kupp on the team, which I don't, sadly. I did 2 years ago, and I won the championship. But if I did have him, I would not think one bit about trading him just yet, okay? Give it until week 4. See if he hops into the game, okay? See what he does, and then go from there. I would not get rid of him unless you can get a top pick from a trade. But the thing is, whoever you trade Cooper Kupp to is going to find success late in the season when you really need that success. So hold on to Cooper Kupp. Please don't jump the gun and be like, I'm going to trade him. I heard some people in a different league trading Cooper Kupp already, which it just made their team even worse. I know they got Patrick Mahomes out of this trade, but it just made it even worse. Yeah,
they got Pat Mahomes out of it?
They got Patrick Mahomes out of it, but I mean, he dwindled down his team completely. Yeah, and I can't say you have to have a Cooper Kupp on your team, okay? Cooper Kupp, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is going to be a great quarterback. Obviously, he's going to be one of the better in fantasy football, but Cooper Kupp is the best wide receiver whenever he is actively playing, okay? So just think about that whenever you're thinking, oh, I could trade and get Nick Chubb for Cooper Kupp. Great trade idea, but possibly just push that off and wait a little bit until Cooper Kupp does, in fact, come back, so then you can get him on and actually start winning games because, again, he's a very valuable player. Bandy, you want to tell them your lineup for this week?
All right, so right now, I mean, I'm waiting for a trade to go through,
of course.
Which will affect my lineup. I'm not going to say where yet, but right now, my starting lineup would be Lamar Jackson.
Nice.
Joe Mixon.
Nice.
Breece Hall.
Nice.
CeeDee Lamb.
Nice.
Tyler Lockett.
Nice.
Darren Waller.
Nice.
Miles Sanders.
Okay.
49ers defense. Daniel Carlson.
Okay, what's your projected for this week?
My projected. Let me go to the game.
What are you projected for this game?
I gotta go to the actual game. Hold on.
I dropped my ring.
I am projected 121.
Okay, 121. Is Breece Hall making you any points this week?
Not particularly.
Not really. Yeah.
Nah, but when the trade goes through, that's going to be a little different.
Okay. He's sneaky. He's getting his points in. He'll update his roster tomorrow, and he'll also talk a little bit about Madden because we do need to talk about that. But kind of looking over, and now Manny told me in the ear, and I could just tell everybody, but I'm not going to. But looking at my roster for this upcoming week, I got Justin Fields projected to get 22.2 points. I got Alex Jones. He's projected to get 15.2. Rashad White, who I did switch out with one Mr. Breece Hall, because Breece Hall's only projected to get 7.5. Do I think he'll get more? Do I think he'll get less? It depends on how the Jets use Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to watch that game to really see like, okay, how are they gonna be utilizing Breece? Is it gonna be like what I'm projecting like an Ezekiel Elliott, Ramondre Stevenson, where Ramondre is going to do like a bulk of getting down the field, and then we're going to throw in Ezekiel Elliott to get like a 5-yard touchdown at the goal line.
And it's a little bit weirder with these two running backs because Dalvin Cook does have a little bit more size than Breece Hall, but they're both really good at catching the ball. They're both good at catching out of a pass. They're both good at running. They're all very quick. They're all going to be great, and it's going to be nice to see. But I think Breece Hall will, in fact, be a big-time player in fantasy. Tyreek Hill, I got Garrett Wilson, Mark Andrews, Deontay Johnson, the Saints, and Daniel Carlson. I'm projected to get 129.6.
Nice.
We're loving to see it. This is going to be a better season than last year. I didn't try too hard last year, but I didn't feel like I had to. Bandy, I'm coming for you, even though you're not in my league. Either way, we got to hop into a break because when we come back, we're talking Ryder Cup, we're talking golf, we're talking whatever we can with Jonathan Liggett from Cherokee Ridge Country Club. So don't go anywhere because you're sticking with us here on the Morning Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Tax-free week is back at Freedom Marine in Gunnersville. The annual Freedom Marine Pontoon Sale now through Saturday. Get special pontoon boat sale prices, factory rebates, and only during the sale, Freedom Marine will pay all of the Alabama state tax on your Bennington, Low, or Veranda pontoon boat purchase. But these deals are only good now through Saturday. Tax-free weekend is back at Freedom Marine on Highway 431 in Gunnersville. Find out more at freedommarincenter.com.
Kevin Harlan here from Westwood One. Join me and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, ready to kick off the new NFL season. It's Patrick Mahomes and the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs, hosting Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Join us along with Rich Eisen from the studio as we get the new season underway, coming up on NFL Kickoff.
It just works. Picture this. You're at home, doing whatever it is you do. Then, pow! The power goes out. Then what? Well, at my house, life goes on. We have a Generac automatic home standby generator from Current Electrical and Generator Services. For your home security and peace of mind, get a free personal consultation on how a Generac automatic home standby generator can protect you. Current Electrical and Generator Services. Call or visit us on the web at HuntsvilleGenerators.com. You've got the power.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms of varicose veins include pain, swelling, aching, heaviness, and fatigue. Dr. Tracy Lowery of Best Vein Care of Huntsville can diagnose and treat your varicose veins with the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Call 256-715-7151 to schedule your free screening. Go to bestveincarehuntsville.com.
Touchdown, Alabama! Hi, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Join us every week for Alabama football right here.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Time to put the hat on that'll mess up my hair, but looks really good. Welcome back, everybody. John Abraham, Captain Cool, alongside the Bandiman, Bailey Lowery, here on the Morning Blitz. We love to let that music ride a little bit. You know, we love to, but YouTube and Facebook don't love whenever we do that. Well, actually, they probably do because they make a little bit more of a cut, but don't worry about it. We don't care either much. We've had a great episode so far. Obviously, talked with Jaden Drip Thomas from Sparkman Center's football team. We've talked about some NFL. We've talked about some high school football. We've talked about some... We haven't talked about college football today. We're going to have to fix that tomorrow, because we got a great slate of Week 2 matchups in the college football world. But on with us right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline is a guy that's going to preview a little bit of what's going on in the Ryder Cup come the end of this month. That is one Mr. Jonathan Liggett from Cherokee Ridge Country Club. John, how you doing?
I'm good, my man. I'm good.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear.
At home at my desk. So it's a good day.
He loves being at the desk. I will say. I love whenever you're in here, but I will say there's less distractions whenever you're at the desk because I'm not looking over at you and you're not looking over at me. But kind of just talk about this Ryder Cup a little bit. Looking over on that European team this week, because last week obviously the team wasn't fleshed out completely, but now it looks like we have most of the team, if not all of the team, going into the end of this month.
Yeah, absolutely. So the European team is finished.
Nice.
And what I love about actually both teams coming to this Ryder Cup is there's 4 rookies on both sides.
Ooh.
And all 4 of these rookies are absolute phenomenal golfers, and I can't wait to see them. And there's the one and only one rookie out of the 4 on the European side that we talked about way earlier when I came on the segment, when I sat in studio, and it's one and only Sepp Straka.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be a big one. I'm going to be ready to watch that is on the European team this year because Sepp Straka, okay, when Bandy first brought him up, I mean, I was like, I'm not going to lie, I don't know this guy. I didn't know the guy at the time. And here he is being picked for the Ryder Cup team, and I'm like, okay, this guy's about to be something big. So if you haven't heard of Sepp Straka yet, please put him in your dictionary because he's on the European team and a phenomenal player. What he's done this year so far, big moves on the world points list by winning his second PGA at the John Deere Classic, earlier this year. And, saw him finish 7th, missing out on automatic qualification. But as a captain's pick, here he is.
Yeah.
So, Sepp Straka. And then taking it over to the U.S. team, who I'm looking forward to for the 4 rookies, is one and only Mr. Max Homa. I talked about him last week. I said he's going to be a hot player. When you see him out there, it's going to be ferocious. The crowd's going to be going wild. The putter's going to be hot. I can feel it in the man. So shout out to Max Homa for that. But, yeah, going on with the Ryder Cup, there's a lot of betting going on, okay?
Yeah?
A ton of betting going on over here in the Ryder Cup. And not only can you just bet on who you think is going to be the outright winner of the Ryder Cup, okay, but you can also bet on the different sessions of play that we're going to have in the Ryder Cup, and I'm going to tell you how that works, okay? So you're going to have the 4-ball of foursomes and singles, okay? So on the 4-ball, you're playing your best ball. So it's 2v2 best ball, and you can even bet on who's going to win that. And as of right now, the U.S. team is in the lead with that because they had an absolute demolishing last year in this session. I've been going 3-1, okay? And in the foursome, it plays alternate shot. And if you don't know what alternate shot is, that's some difficult play, okay? It's where if I tee off and then my buddy has to hit where my ball's at, and I got to hit where his ball's at, and it's tough, okay?
Yeah.
And that's gonna be kind of a tough one, kind of an oddball out there to bet on, because you never know what's going to happen in an alternate shot. So Europe is up and winning on that one as of right now. This is all via DraftKings, okay? And then you got your singles, okay? This is just straight up player versus player. This is my favorite session. It's going to be amazing to watch, especially with 4 new players on each team coming this year. It's going to be an amazing thing to watch. And again, Max Homa is the leading fan favorite right now as for the rookie for the U.S. team. And for the fan favorite, it's not for the European team. It's not who I picked. It's not Steph Straka, but it's the one and only Ludwig Adberg.
Yes.
And if you don't know him, the man's tall. The man's got a big swing. He's powerful, and he's really fun to watch. So keep your eye on the Ryder Cup this year. It's going to be a great event to watch. It's really hyped for this year.
And on top of that, the European team does have Shane Lowry, John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Justin Rose. Just a plethora of talent. And now comparing it to the U.S. team, I mean, which team looks to have the upper hand going into September 25th?
So I hate to say it, but the European team is looking strong. Looking very strong this year. For example, you have one and only Victor Hovland. Okay, you saw him this last year, winning the FedEx Cup, winning the last 2 tournaments there. And like I talked about him last week, he looks like he's sitting in a winner's circle. So his confidence and mental is probably going to be out the roof going into this event in 21 days. So the European team is just looking amazing. And then you have Justin Rose. I mean, a plethora of experience. Shane Lowry, Rory McIlroy, been a top player for the last decade. Amazingly good. All of their rookies. Also amazing. Nikolai Hajarg, amazing rookie. And the U.S. team, I feel like they lost. Some of their good players from last year. If you go back to last year's roster, I mean, you had Dustin Johnson. Okay, I think Dustin Johnson's a good one. That's just a monster out there they don't have. Bryson DeChambeau, we know him. I don't care if he's on the team. No offense to him. And then you got one and only Tony Finau. He was the captain pick, and I think Tony is one of those guys that is just nice to have around. You know, it's like he's one of the chemistry guys that keeps the momentum going, and he's a really good fan favorite. And I think that's another guy they're missing because the European team. I mean, you got to think about all these guys play together. They play together for a while now. You got Justin Rose, who's up here. He's one of the calmest, collected guys you ever know, with lots of experience. So I think the Team Europe has, in my opinion, the advantage going into this year, especially since the U.S. hasn't won on European soil since 1993.
There you go.
So these guys are defending their home soil. So they got that meter. Okay, that meter is about halfway up for them already. Going into this event, because there's already home field advantage betting going on over there. So these guys are hyped for it. These guys they're ready for what's coming their way on their home soil. So I'm going Team Europe this year. I think they're going to get the dub.
Well, it's a good amount of youth as well as experience on both teams. You got to admit, a lot of these guys, you look through, and you can't you can't complain too much about them. I mean, you got Brian Harman, you got Max Homa. On top of that, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Scotty Scheffler. I mean, that's the American team, okay? And you look at that, you're like, oh, it looks like they regressed a little bit from last year. But, I mean, it's hard to kind of keep that talent, but it's good to also throw in a little bit of those newcomers as well.
Well, to add on top of that, when we talk about newcomers, the Ryder Cup, yes, it takes some kahunas to get out there, and it's going to be a lot of pressure. And when I say pressure, that's what I mean when I talk about experience, and that's why I think the European team has just this, also not a home field advantage, but also that experience on top of that. Because the Ryder Cup, when you get out there, it's not only you just got to have talent.
Yeah.
You got to know what you're doing. You got to know how to handle that pressure. You got to know how to play as a team out there. Because the Ryder Cup is really team based, and when you know how to do that, and which I think the European team has the upper hand on that currently, I think they're going to make the smart decision instead of trying to be a hero, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
so
sir.
I think the U.S. team has lots of talent. I give them that. They're the absolute great team. Max Homa, Brian Harman, Brooks Koepka, Colin Morikawa, Ricky Fowler, BDR, baby.
Good stuff, Jonathan Liggett from Cherokee Ridge Country Club. For me and the Bandiman, we'll be back in 22 hours for a Flow Friday here in no man's land. I'm going to have to apologize for John to that. You guys have a good rest of your day.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the